Voigtlander just recently announced a new addition to its Nokton lineup, a 21mm 1.4 aspherical lens. This is very similar to one of my favorite Voigtlander lenses, the 21mm 1.8 Ultron. I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about why I like the Ultron, and the similarities and differences between the Ultron and Nokton 21mm lenses. The Ultron is 2/3 of a stop slower while being slightly smaller and quite a bit lighter, at 412 grams over the Nokton's 560. While the Nokton will be available in E-mount, the Ultron is an M-mount lens. This makes the Nokton limited to Sony's mirrorless cameras, and the Ultron very adaptable to different mirrorless camera systems with a simple adapter. Voigtlander still continues to put out high-quality modern lenses in Leica M mount. We will have to see if there will be any native offerings for Panasonic, Canon, and Nikon full-frame mirrorless camera users in the future. The Nokton has a close focus of 0.25 meters, while the Ultron can focus down to 0.5 meters. That is still close for a rangefinder lens, but paired with the VME adapter, the Ultron can focus down to 17.6 centimeters. The one standout difference between the Nokton and the Ultron to me is that the Nokton has a removable hood. The Ultron is stuck with this permanent hood, which limits filter usage. You can still screw on a filter, but it's difficult to attach and remove them. It's also difficult to rotate filters like CPL and variable ND. The new Nokton will offer easy access to a 62mm filter thread, while still giving you the option of a hood. My original intention for this lens was to shoot a street photography project at night. Mounted to the original A7S, I was able to capture photos at night that other lens and camera combinations could not photograph. Since then, I've decided to go in a different direction with my street photography, but I kept the lens, and it has seen a lot of use since then. I often choose to take it for my other projects, work, and casual photo opportunities. It has proven itself to be a versatile lens for both photo and video. Being small and light regardless of the subject matter, it is a lens I keep in my bag just in case. Ultra-wide, ultra-fast lenses are a niche product, but I think they do lend themselves to concerts, street photography, documentary work, visual storytelling, group portraits, events and weddings, product photography, architecture or automotive photography, as well as a variety of video projects. The Ultron is contrasty with vibrant colors and can produce striking and dramatic images. It does have a tendency to produce defined starbursts from almost any strong source of light. This may be a good aesthetic choice for some, but for others it might be distracting. In practical use, the lens is very nice in the hand, weighed well for mirrorless and Leica cameras. Manual focus isn't an issue for what I like to photograph, but it should be noted that even at f1.8, it still produces a relatively small depth of field. At first glance, it might appear that most of the image is in focus, but upon closer inspection, you can see that only a small portion of the photo is in tack sharp focus. Especially with close subjects, I would use either a rangefinder or punch-in functionality to confirm your focus. But if you're doing something like street photography where you don't have to be that accurate, setting the lens to about 3 meters gives you enough in focus that you can still achieve a good image, even at f1.8. Although the ultra-wide nature of it does mean that you have to be very close to your subjects, or emphasizing the stage aspect of a street photo. But it does lend itself to the shoot from the hip style of street photography. I do find myself often taking only this lens on a Sony body for casual photos. With the VME adapter and the fast aperture on an A7S means that you always have enough light to get a great photo. The Nokton will be available in June for about $1,500 US. I've seen the Ultron go for anywhere from $800 to $1,100 depending on if it's used or new, but it's still a great lens in that price point. I don't think the 2/3 extra stop of light and filter access are enough to sway me. The Ultron is already a very sharp and technically impressive lens. But I did want to give those looking at the Nokton another possible option. I should also mention that Sigma and Nikon put out lenses in a similar range. But because they are primarily DSLR lenses, I don't feel like they fit into this category. It might be possible to adapt those lenses to whatever system you use, but do your research. But one thing hasn't changed: for ultra-wide, ultra-fast lenses on M-mount cameras, you only have two native options: the Summilux 21mm and the Ultron 21mm. In general, I think the Ultron is a very capable lens in a variety of situations. It's one of the lenses that I constantly take with me regardless of what the work or subject matter entail. It has a few shortcomings, but I think its adaptability over the Nokton makes it a better option for most photographers. Are you an Ultron user thinking about switching to the Nokton? Or have you used the Nokton and think it's better than the Ultron? Let me know what you think.